And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Bishop Darcy Stadium in this edition of Women's Soccer, St. Francis Women's Soccer. Our broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. And today, the St. Francis Lady Cougars trying to make it back-to-back wins. Their opponent today is the Bethel Pilots. Bethel comes into this game with an overall record of 6-2-3. They have yet to win a conference game, however. Bethel has played some close games their last two conference matchups, a 2-2 tie to Huntington on the road and a 0-0 tie against Mount Vernon at home this past Wednesday. But this past Wednesday was when St. Francis got their first victory of the season. Haley Roberson netting the game's only goal, came late in the first half, and it was enough to win it for the Cougars. It was her fifth goal on the season. Now, St. Francis has been building up record-wise ever since Jason Freeman took over. He's been the head coach since 2020, and he's built the team up to an 11-8-2 mark a year ago. Like I said, they're 6-2-3 on the year so far this year. The Pilots were NCCAA national champions a year ago, made it to regionals last year, and made it as far as the Crossroads League quarterfinal back in 2021. Should say they were regional champions in 2022, so 2 years ago was when they accomplished that. St. Francis actually tied with Bethel that day. That was on a Saturday afternoon. They started off with the game's first goal, an early goal, but it ended in a tie with the Pilots and the Cougars just a couple of years ago. We'll be back in a minute. St. Francis and Bethel about 3.5 minutes away from taking the field. You're watching St. Francis Women's Soccer, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Getting ready for the start of St. Francis versus Bethel here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. A little bit of information coming into this game. Courtney Tobin of the St. Francis Cougars is one of the leaders in assists in the Crossroads League. Not just for the Cougars, but in the Crossroads League. She is tied with Cassidy Felder of Grace and Katie Koger of Marion. Those three girls each have 7 assists apiece on the season. St. Francis came up with its first goal of the year when Haley Roberson netted the ultimate game winner against Huntington on Wednesday night. Should say their first goal of conference play. Scoring goals in the non-con schedule had not been quite as much of a problem for St. Francis. They won 1-0 against Huntington. That's their only conference victory of the season. They do have a conference win under their belts so far this year. Bethel does not have a conference win under their belts yet. St. Francis trying to keep it that way. Of course, the trend lately has been that St. Francis Women's Soccer has worn the pregame warm-up shirts that have the number 30 on the back of them. That's to commemorate the fact that this is the 30th anniversary of St. Francis Women's Soccer. The program started, I believe it was back in 1995. It was 1995. Ken Newber became the head coach of the program, first head coach for women's soccer here at St. Francis. He's in his second stint as head coach for St. Francis. He's won a number of MCC titles. That's Mid-Central College Conference. Of course, the conference name changed in more recent years to the Crossroads League. Most of the teams in the conference are in the state of Indiana, which of course bears the nickname Crossroads of America. We're about 30 seconds away from the start of this game. They'll announce the starting lineups here in a minute, and then we'll have the national anthem, and the teams will take the pitch. And St. Francis and Bethel will go at it. This is the fourth conference game of the year for St. Francis women's soccer. They'll be rounding out a conference homestand today, and then it's back on the road for the Cougars. The fourth conference game of the season for St. Francis about to get underway as they take on the Bethel Pilots. St. Francis men's and women's team both taking on the Pilots today. The men will be playing at 5 o'clock. Head coach Mamba Chisoni was here about an hour and a half, or more like an hour perhaps, before this game started. But that's about an hour and a half drive to Mishawaka, so I imagine if they haven't gotten on the bus yet, they're just about to. But this game getting started at 2 p.m. Leading scorer on the year for Bethel is Lena Thomas. She's a junior. Plays the midfield position. Second leading scorer is Aubrey Vervingt, and it looks as though the Cougars are going to kick off to start the game. Nope, it's going to be Bethel who gets to kick it off to start the game. Ana Hernandez, sophomore out of Bristol, Indiana, sets up to take the kick. And, you know, it is a good thing that these two teams are clearly wearing different jerseys. They have similar jersey colors. Bethel with the combination of blue, black, and white. St. Francis has the same combination, but Bethel going with the road blues, the royal blues, as we are underway. And, of course, St. Francis going with the home white and, well, white and light blue striped jerseys, so to speak. It's not pinstripes, but probably about as close as you can get in soccer as the Cougs do come up with the ball. That appeared to go off the Pilots, and it did. Looked like it went off of Yasmin Juarez. Jalen Carroll to throw it in for the Cougars. Carroll, a defenseman. She'd had some early goals on the season to help the Cougars to their good start in non-conference play. Back across midfield, but Carroll is there. Swigert's pass is taken away. It looked like that was Hernandez who got the takeaway. Sent toward the middle by Lena Thomas. Long shot, and that goes right through the upright. Rachel Bova, the freshman out of Carroll High School, starting in goal today. She's been the starter in goal for most of the season. In the opener, the Cougs went with Caden Tassler, the junior out of Northrop. But lately it has been Rachel Bova's job all throughout the season so far. And Bova's had some pretty impressive saves. That ball goes off of the Pilots, off of Aubrey Vervingt. And this will be St. Francis who gets the throw in. It looks like Carroll will handle it again. Her name is Jalen Carroll, but don't make the mistake of saying that she went to Carroll. She did not. She went to DeKalb High School, which is over in Waterloo, Indiana, not too far from Auburn, home of the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Museum. Was at DeKalb for sectional baseball this year, and it just so happens that that sectional tournament was won by the Carroll Chargers. Knocked out of bounds by the Cougs. Pilots will get this throw in. DeKalb will be hosting sectional girls soccer, I do believe, this coming week. Vervingt on the near side, sends it toward the middle, and the Cougs are there. Vervingt with a chance to get to the ball, and she causes a takeaway and finds Layla Modahedsi. Apologize, there are some names that aren't so easy to pronounce on this roster. Do have a pronunciation guide. That's the upside. Of course, even there, can run into some challenges with pronunciations. Sent forward there by Grace Beck. That one's not so hard to pronounce. Vervingt through traffic gets it to Thomas. Thomas to her left. The shot poked away initially. The putback goes wide. Rachel Bova got the save, and then the putback shot, which I think came from Carly Harkness, would not go. Let's see if we can give you another look at it here on our replay. Yeah, there's the initial save by Bova, able to stop it with her right hand. Said Harkness, that might have actually been Jordan Mute. Pilots get the ball across midfield to Beck. Beck has it taken away. A late call there as Tobin looked like she got pulled down by Annalie Gustafson. Cleared by the Pilots. That's Vervinkt. And the Pilots do get it across midfield. They're looking for Hernandez. Pushing forward is Layla Matahedi. Vervinkt, shot saved, and that is Bova with the save. Little trip appeared to be incidental. Matahedi gets the ball, finds Thomas. Thomas sends it toward the far side. Did that go off Bethel? It did. Bethel's had a number of chances here these last few minutes. St. Francis trying to change the momentum. Carly Harfouche gets to the ball, but she boots it out of bounds right to that Glenbrook Jeep sign. When you talk about Glenbrook Automotive Group, you have to ask which Glenbrook are you referring to? Jeep, Hyundai, Chrysler Dodge, or of course Glenbrook Mall. Those dealerships in the same area as Glenbrook Mall. Throw into the box, the shot, wide left. I think that was Carroll who took the shot. Either her or Swigert, hard to tell. But it's going to be a goal kick for the Pilots. I believe that's Megan Keeble in goal for Bethel. She's from Northeast Indiana. She went to Central Noble High School, which is in Albion. That's the home of Camp Luther Haven. There's a takeaway by Vervinkt. Vervinkt pushing. The shot's deflected. Kirsten Parker stopped the possession for the Pilots, but now Keeble's the closest one to that ball, and she sends it over to Harfouche. Always risky when the goalie comes out of the box. However, she did not have any Cougs in the area there. Matahedi working her way around, and she feeds that one back over. The Pilots do get the ball across midfield, but the Cougs send it the other way. Officially, Bethel leads in shots on goal 3-1 so far in this game. Bova with the line drive strike. There in the middle of the field is Gustafson for Bethel. Lewis with a quick pass ahead. That's knocked toward the sideline, and it will go out. Throw-in coming up for the Cougars. And a long throw-in that was. Vervinkt looked like she touched it last, and she did. This will be a throw-in for the Cougs. That's Haley Roberson, who had the long throw-in moments ago, and she'll throw this one in. Roberson tends to handle a lot of the throw-ins for St. Francis, and boy, another good long throw-in. And that one went off of Harfouche. Taylor Schweigert has it, but she's going to let Roberson take it, I think. Haley Roberson from Granger, Indiana. She went to Penn High School, which is in Mishawaka, which is where Bethel is located. This is going to be a corner kick. It goes out off the Pilots. And St. Francis will get a corner kick in the corner. Pardon my redundancy. That's Courtney Tobin about to take the kick. Hard strike. Roberson, I think, got back there for the header. They continue to battle for the ball, and Grace Beck clears it out of the box for now, but it's going to go out off of Beck, and a throw-in coming up for St. Francis. Hard strike into the box. Harfouche is there. Schweigert battles for it. She'll get a touch just outside the box. All kinds of traffic there, and the Pilots clear. Roberson's got it on the back end. Roberson with a defender on her, able to get it through some more traffic. Push forward. Harkenrider the shot. It's cleared. And Verving's had that go kind of awkwardly off her foot. Not the way she wanted it to go. Kept ahead by Modaheady. Little through ball in the box. Cougs with a chance. Harkenrider trying to get to it. Across. Deflected and picked up by Keeble. They're looking for Hernandez across midfield. The 11th minute here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. The Cougs trying to create another scoring chance. The Pilots slow it down for now as Hernandez pushes toward the ball. That's going to go out of bounds. It was off of the Pilots. Oh, that looked like it went off the hand. It did. Off the hand of Anna Hernandez. And St. Francis will get the free kick as a result of that handball. Roberson was there to take the kick. Looks like it's Kirsten Parker to take the kick now for the Cougs. She gives that a hard strike. The header goes out of bounds right to the Bethel bench off of Harfouche. And Roberson will handle this throw-in. Roberson fires toward the box. And that appeared to go off Bethel, and the official agrees. It will be St. Francis's throw-in. 13th minute here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Roberson gets it in. The header goes toward the end line. It's going to be cleared by the Pilots. Another throw-in for the Cougs. Long possession here for St. Francis here in the 13th minute. Roberson gets it in. Whistles blow. And we might have a handball on St. Francis this time. It's going to be a free kick either way for Bethel. Kaylee Harfouche will set it up. Line drive kick across midfield. She gets it to Thomas. I think that was Skylar Olson who was back there defending her. Freshman out of Huntington North. Cleared back the other way by the Pilots. A little header there. Thomas got it ahead of the pack. The shot, it's saved. Bova, right place, right time. Bethel's had a couple opportunities so far today, but Bova, at this point, has not let anything past her. Got a lot of soccer to be played, though. Beck with the throw-in, gets it to Thomas. It's a player who just took the shot moments ago. Roberson back there defensively, and she clears it out. That's a good part of Roberson's game. She's a good defensive player. She thus far has been the leading goal scorer for St. Francis with 5. She added to her total on Wednesday night. A long shot, poked over the crossbar by Bova. I believe that was Thomas again. It will be a corner kick, however, for the Pilots. Low strike. Header goes the wrong way for Bethel. Right way for St. Francis, of course. Thomas almost got another touch, but it's cleared out. Back there waiting for it is Macy Potter. That one's taken away by Modaheady. Beck sends it across midfield to Vervinkt. Modaheady. Back to Beck. Harfouche across midfield. Gets it to Thomas. Thomas kind of dribbled it off her own foot, it looked like. Speaking of dribbling, of course, that is a soccer term, but Bethel's men's basketball team was once coached by Mike Lightfoot. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's still the longest active wins leader in NAIA basketball. Now, I don't know about basketball as a whole. Coach K and Gino Ariema may have passed him by now. Of course, Coach K's retired. His former point guard, John Shire, took over for him with the Duke Blue Devils. But I believe Gino Ariema is still the head coach at UConn. Got a Fort Wayne athlete playing at UConn these days, Ayanna Patterson. Basketball star from Homestead. Little contact, and the ball's taken away by the Cougs. A little slide effort there. Vervinkt got the takeaway, and Gustafson battling for the ball for Bethel. Gustafson. The Pilots push. They get the ball across midfield to Beck. Beck able to find Vervinkt. Vervinkt has an opening. The cross, and that's saved off the crossbar there by Bova. Another chance, though, for Bethel. This is Thomas, leading goal scorer for the Pilots. And that one bounces through the upright. Well, if this was football, American football, that is, that would be good. But it's, call it old school football or English football. Boy, Thomas continues to create one chance after another. Again, she's the leading goal scorer for these Pilots coming into this game, and she is playing with a quick motor. Right there waiting for it was Faith Lewis. That goes past Tobin. Tobin gets it through. Parker gets to the ball, trying to squeeze it past the goalie. She sticks with it, but so do the Pilots. Was out of bounds off the Pilots. It will be a throw-in. See if we can't get another look at this last replay. Boy, Kirsten Parker, well, there's the back end of it. It was cleared at just the last second by the Pilots. But give Parker credit. She stuck with that thing. Even after having it deflect off a couple of Pilot players, ultimately the Pilots got back on defense. Megan Keeble came out of the box, and her teammates helped her out big time. That one goes backwards. I think that's Lewis racing toward the ball. Can she get to it? No. And it goes out off St. Francis. Bethel's throw-in. Grace Beck will throw it in for the Pilots. Pilots do play in Mishawaka, Indiana. That's not too far from South Bend. That, of course, is the home of University of Notre Dame. Vervinkt, one-on-one with multiple defenders, and the Cougs take it away and give it right back. Kirsten Parker on the far side. Cougs look to clear. That ball goes off the knee of Tobin, I believe. This will go out of bounds, and Bethel will get the throw in as we are inside the 21st minute. Faith Lewis gets the ball. Vervink gets to her. That's knocked out of bounds by the Cougars. Off of Thomas. Thomas got a touch while she was down on her back. This one's going to go out off Bethel, I believe. Yep, it will be a goal kick for St. Francis. Bethel has outshot St. Francis 7-3 so far. However, the Cougs have had some good scoring opportunities the last few minutes. Swigert gets a touch just short of midfield, and that'll be a trip call against the Pilots. Pilots send a sub to the sideline. That's Annalise Young. But it looks like she's going to wait until the next Bethel throw-in. Carly Harkness will also wait there as St. Francis gets this free kick. Roberson has that go off of Harfouche. Swigert pushes down the field. Gets around some traffic. Back to Swigert. She heads it ahead. A chance for St. Francis. Did they call offsides? I didn't see anybody offsides there. It's going to be a free kick either way for the Pilots. Keeble will handle it. That's going to be sent out of bounds, and St. Francis gets this throw in. Headed backwards. Pilots get to it. That's number 19, Selena Cruz. Knocked out of bounds by Harfouche. And it'll be Roberson who gets to take the throw in. We are inside the 25th minute here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. Roberson fires it in. Parker battling for the ball. She gets to it. Two defenders on her, and Parker trying to keep it in. She kicked it out. Right on the sideline, and that was easy to see. Well, now Carly Harkness and Annalise Young will check into the game. Annalise Young, she's a native of Cincinnati, Ohio, a freshman from Seton High School over there. And by the way, though her last name is Young, it's spelled J-U-N-G, kind of like Texas Rangers third baseman Josh Young. His brother Jace plays for the Tigers, who are in the playoffs, although last I checked, the Tigers were losing 5-0 to the Cleveland Guardians. Wasn't that long ago, Jace came up through the high A ranks. Playing for, I believe it was the West Michigan Whitecaps. I believe they're an affiliate of the Tigers. Plays in the Midwest League. Same league as Fort Wayne's own Fort Wayne Tin Caps. Tin Caps are affiliated with the Padres. And by the way, the Padres, I believe, start their NLDS series with the Dodgers today. Back to Jalen Carroll. Oh boy, Swigert was there. Had she turned at the right time, she'd have had a chance at a header. Lena Thomas gets a touch short of midfield. The Pilots continue to push. It's Grace Beck. Sends it back toward the inside. They try to get it to Thomas on a through ball, but Faith Lewis stops that one. Thomas, 1-on-2. Oh, sends it wide. She was looking for Young. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Francis. Jalen Carroll will handle this throw-in. Carroll, a sophomore defenseman from DeKalb High School over in Waterloo, Indiana. Oh, that's deflected. Biddle took the shot, but Harfouche sent it the other way, and here's Thomas. Harkness pushes outside. The Cougs get to the ball. Harkness stays with it. Thomas with a touch in the box. The Cougs take it away. I think that was Parker. It's either Parker or Haley Wesley who got the takeaway, but the Cougs knocked this one out, and Bethel will get a throw-in. Into the box to Young. That's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be a corner kick for Bethel. And they'll let Autumn Bodwin check into the game. Bodwin wears number 15. She is a senior out of Woodville, Ohio. High kick. Bova's there. She's got it. I don't think that'll officially go as a save, but Bova does stop the chance and keep it scoreless for the time being. Header the other way by Harfouche. Lewis has it deflected by Hernandez. And whistles blow, and I think we're going to get a free kick for St. Francis. they're going to have the Cougars bring the ball up to technically the 47-yard line. Of course, we're not recognizing yard lines in this game. However, when your soccer team shares its field with the football team, you do notice those things sometimes as an announcer. Roberson's kick cleared by the Pilots. As Harkness gets to the ball, sends it toward the middle to Bodwin. My apologies, got tied up on her last name. It's spelled as if it was Baudouin, but it's pronounced Bodwin. That's Swigert who's got the ball for St. Francis. Cruz right in front of her. Swigert looked like she hit it off the foot of Cruz, and it will be a corner kick for the Cougars. That looks like 19, Courtney Tobin handling the corner kick. $15-11 left to play in this first half. It's a short kick. Try to set it up for Tobin. Header goes wide. That was Swigert, I believe, who took the shot. And a Cougars chance comes up empty. Into the game is Odessa Alvarez, freshman out of Convoy, Ohio. Clock stops at 14:29, and the official is having a word with somebody. I'm not sure who. Went off the field to have a word with him. Not sure if that's one of the Bethel assistants, but either way, we play on. Sent ahead to Annalise Young. Young's pass goes out. It'll be a throw-in for St. Francis. Madison Meeks fires it in. That header goes out. Out of bounds this time off the Cougs. That goes off the head of Bodwin. Thomas with another touch right at midfield. Thomas pushes toward the middle. Harkness toward the middle, shot, and they score. Ana Hernandez puts it home. Well, we'll get a look at this on our replay as Bethel goes up 1-0. Harkness with a nice pass to the middle, and Hernandez went far corner. Bova was set up on the right corner, left from her vantage point. And Hernandez put it right past her. For Hernandez, that is her first goal of the season. And that appeared to go off St. Francis. And this will be a throw-in for the Pilots. Redirected by the Cougars. Cougars looking for an equalizer. They try to get it through to Parker. Hernandez right in front of that ball again. Header back the other way by Young. Check that. Here's Young with the ball right now. Cougars get it through some traffic over toward the near side. Grace Beck has it go off her foot and out of bounds. Roberson. That goes off the foot of Hannah Thomas, and this will be a corner kick for the Cougs. Thomas didn't even need to do that. That ball was going past everybody, and she stuck her foot out there, perhaps trying to clear the ball. And instead, it's a corner kick for the Cougs. Courtney Tobin sets it up. Cleared out by the Pilots. Lewis gets there. Kept in play by Young. Lewis gets it through traffic. Roberson looking for Parker. Can she get to it? It went out. It'll be a goal kick. It went out before Parker could get to the ball. Another sub will come in. Subs for both teams come in. Emma Martz, senior out of Wakarusa, Indiana, checks in. And also coming in, number 30, Matiah James, a freshman from right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. She went to Concordia High School. Concordia will be hosting boys sectional soccer this coming week. That tournament starts on Monday. Lewis battles with Bodwin. Parker pushing. She's got Beck on her, and that'll go out of bounds. This will be a corner kick. They say it went off the Pilots. And it will be a corner kick for the Cougars. Tobin's got to chase the ball down right next to the goal almost. Cleared out by the Pilots. And the Cougs get to the ball. Out of bounds, and Bethel gets a throw in. Chloe Baker will enter the game for the Pirates. Baker, a freshman out of Edwardsburg, Michigan. Swigert on the far side. I think she just ran out of room. They signaled that it was Bethel's throw-in, I thought. Oh, now St. Francis gets the throw-in. They get it to Swigert. And that goes off of at least one Bethel player, or not. It's called a goal kick. That goes off of Parker. The Pilots are there. Harfouche has it for Bethel. Looking for Baker. Baker with two defenders on her. This ball goes off of St. Francis. Have to bring it back to the spot where the ball goes out. And that is Grace Beck getting ready to throw it in for the Pilots. Gets it into Young. Out of bounds. Another throw-in coming up for Bethel. We are in the 37th minute as Biddle gets a touch in the middle of the field. They get it back to her. Biddle leaves it off for Parker. Parker back into the box. That looked like a handball. And I think we just got the call. Late call. But it is a handball in the box off of Hernandez, I think. Or was that off of Beck? Get a discussion here from the officials. The foul did occur in the box. Was a late signal. But it is going to be a penalty kick, it looks like, for St. Francis. Courtney Tobin with a chance to knot this thing up. .753, the Cougs with a chance to tie the game. On a handball in the box. Tobin runs up. Shot, and she scores! Courtney Tobin evens it up for the Cougs, and we'll take another look at it right here on our instant replay. Keeble went to her right, and Tobin sends it to her left, and we are tied. And I do believe that's the third goal of the year for Tobin. Player had a very strong freshman campaign as this ball goes out of bounds. That's right, second goal of the season for Tobin. She has 7 assists coming into this game. She was tied in that category with Marion's Katie Koger and Grace's Cassidy Felger. This is a goal kick, meanwhile, for the Cougs. That's knocked out by the Cougs. Throw-in coming up for Bethel. Grace Beck will throw it in. The last time Bethel was here was 2 years ago, and that game ended in a tie. At the time, Bethel was one of the top teams in the Crossroads League. Biddle sends it down the field. Will that stay in bounds? Looks like it will, but Harfouche is the first to get to it. Taylor Keenan in the game. Gets a touch toward Biddle. But the Pilots stop the Cougs for the time being. Parker sends it ahead. Knocked away again by the Pilots. And this time they keep it in as Baker gets it through some traffic. Up ahead to Young. Annalise Young down the field. Through ball to Hernandez. She's got the lone Bethel goal for this game. The Cougs are there. Faith Lewis helped to stop it. Grace Beck sends it the other way. And this ball's going out of bounds. Bethel will get the throw in. It looks like Harfouche. It looked like she'd be the one to take the throw in. Instead, it'll be Grace Beck. Seems like Beck has handled a lot of the throw-ins today for the Pilots. .5:39 and counting to go here in this first half. Here's Biddle at the middle of the field. Lewis lines up the shot. I should say lines up the pass, but Pilots are there. Cougs take it away. Keenan right back toward the inside. Harfouche toward the middle and chasing after it is Young. All alone waiting for it is Keeble, and she's able to scoop it up. Battle right at midfield. Keenan gets a touch on the near side. Knocked out of bounds by the Pilots. That was knocked out by Grace Beck. Kirsten Parker will handle the throw in for St. Francis. Shot by Swigert through the upright. Or was that Biddle who took the shot? Well, it is a goal kick for Bethel as Keeble has it set up. Back across midfield. Tobin gets to it. Harkness. That appeared to go off of St. Francis. Nope, it goes off of Bethel. Cougs take over. Tie game with 3 minutes to go. We do have a player down, meanwhile. That is Carly Harkness. Clock stops with 2:42 to go. And all the Cougars are heading to the sideline. Harkness gets back up, but it looks like she is in a good bit of pain. Yeah, she's trying to put weight on that foot. Trying to walk it off, but it looked at first like she needed help. I wonder if she was just cramping up. Because now she's starting to walk under her own power, and that's the good news. For just a second there, though, it looked like she might be holding her arm. But first she was having trouble walking around. Looked like it was her left foot that she was trying to avoid putting weight on. Now she's grabbing her right arm. There was a lot going on there. Not sure if Harkness's arm is hurt or if she was cramping up. Looked like she was definitely cramping up as she was hobbling around. It will be St. Francis who gets the kick. 2:42 left to go in this first half. Keenan trying to get to the ball. She's tripped. But I think they called it on St. Francis. Either Keenan knocked her down or committed a handball, perhaps. Just close to touching the ball with her hands there. Harfouche to take the kick for Bethel. That one goes off of Sophia Neihart. Throw in by the Cougars, kicked up in the air by Beck. Out of bounds, off of Bethel. Throw in for St. Francis again. Parker to throw it in. Keenan continues to battle for the ball, and they're going to call that out off Bethel. Parker. Bethel clears it out as we approach the final minute of the first half. St. Francis will get a throw in. Can they get the lead before halftime? They've got a chance to. Parker's able to get it into Keenan. Harfouche sends it down the middle of the field. Nyhart battles for the ball. Did it go off of her? It did. Parker fires it in. Did that go off of Keenan? Right there on the sidelines. The Pilots thought they saw a handball. I thought I saw that from up here. Baker with defenders right in front of her. And the first half will come to an end. St. Francis battles in the first half with Bethel, tied at 1. These two teams tied 2 years ago when Bethel was here. Right now, we're knotted up at 1. Courtney Tobin with the game-tying goal. We'll show you the 2 goals that we've had in just a little bit on this broadcast of St. Francis Women's Soccer, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. St. Francis and Bethel tied at 1-1 in this fourth matchup of Crossroads League play for both the Pilots and the Cougars. Well, here's a look at our first goal of the game. Ana Hernandez was the one who put it in the net. Also give credit to Carly Harton as she gets the assist. Hernandez is able to send her cross through the net. Bova was on the right side of the goal, her left. And Hernandez able to send it to that far corner. And after a handball was called late in the first half, it was Courtney Tobin who tied it up on the penalty kick. Keeble went one way, and Tobin kicked it the other way. It looked like Keeble actually moved before the ball was kicked, and Tobin took advantage of that. Her 3rd goal of the season, and we are tied at 1 apiece. Got an update from St. Francis football coming your way in a little bit. You're watching St. Francis Women's Soccer on SummitCitySports.com. Well, St. Francis women's soccer is tied with Bethel at 1 here at halftime, about 10.5 minutes to go. St. Francis football is also in action right now, and the Cougs trail Taylor right now 37-21. Now, St. Francis did have a big come-from-behind victory where they were down 21-0 against Defiance in the home opener. The Cougs came all the way back to win that game and won it by a lot. I'd say it was even a bigger comeback than Florida versus Tennessee in 1995. Tennessee jumped out to, I believe they had a 30-14 lead over Florida, but the Gators came all the way back. Of course, that was when Peyton Manning was at Tennessee. Florida's quarterback was Danny Warfel back then. But I bring that up just because it was a major comeback, just like what the Cougs had in Week 2 against Defiance. The Lady Cougs tied with Bethel right now, and Rachel Bova's had some pretty impressive saves. We'll show you some of those in just a little bit. St. Francis and Bethel tied at 1 apiece. I told you before that Rachel Bova has some impressive saves in this game. We'll go ahead and show you some of those replays. This one's a one-handed save as Lena Thomas takes the shot, trying to get her 6th goal of the season. Bova pokes it away, and Jordan Mayhoot not able to put it in. And speaking of Lena Thomas, Bova saved another one of her shots. Here's a look at it. She pushes ahead with a header, able to get past defenders, and Bova able to stop it in its tracks. Kirsten Parker did go down briefly, but Parker's been able to stick things out since then. Another impressive save by Bova. This was one that looked like it was going in. Thomas with a shot again, and Bova able to reach up and poke it over the crossbar to keep it scoreless at the time. Of course, later on it was Ana Hernandez who got the Pilots on the board and up 1-0. Then Courtney Tobin able to tie it up at 1. Got about 7 minutes to go. Before the second half gets underway. This is St. Francis Women's Soccer, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. St. Francis tied with Bethel at 1 here at halftime. Well, what's coming up for St. Francis women's soccer? They're off on Wednesday, and they'll be playing again a week from today on Saturday against Grace College. That'll be at 5 p.m. at First Source Bank Field in Winona Lake. That is, of course, the home of the Grace Lancers. And then the Lady Cougs will be back home again next Wednesday, October 16th, as they take on the Goshen Maple Leaves. Just a little bit, we'll let you know what's coming up for St. Francis men's soccer. That's coming up next on SummitCitySports.com and this broadcast of St. Francis women's soccer. Well, here at Bishop Darcy Stadium, it's the St. Francis women's soccer team tied with Bethel at 1 apiece. What's coming up for the men's team? The men are on the road against Bethel tonight. That's at 5 p.m., and then they're back home next Saturday taking on Grace at 7 p.m. And a week from Wednesday, October 16th, the Cougars back on the road taking on Goshen. They'll be back home on Saturday, October 19th to take on the Marion Knights. That's what's coming up next for the St. Francis men's soccer team. We got just over 2 minutes left until the second half gets underway. St. Francis and Bethel tied at 1 apiece. You're watching St. Francis women's soccer. This broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. St. Francis tied with Bethel 1-1 here at Bishop Darcy Stadium. The Cougs trying to make it back-to-back conference wins, and they've been pretty even with the Pilots as far as opportunities to score on goal. Bethel does lead in shots on goal. They've got 8 shots on goal compared to 6 for St. Francis. However, St. Francis keeping it close in that department, and on the scoreboard, like I said, we are tied at 1-1. Well, the halftime clock has run out, so we're just about ready to start the second half. They'll put 45 minutes on the clock. Refs on their way back out. Or St. Francis not wearing the pregame warm-up shirts right now. However, on the season, they've been wearing black warm-up shirts with the number 30 on the back of them, commemorating that this is the 30th year of St. Francis women's soccer. Ken Neuber, after serving as a head coach for men's soccer, started the women's soccer program. They officially started playing back in 1995, and he's in his second stint as the Cougs head coach. His first stint, Neuber won multiple Mid-Central College Conference titles. That was back when it was called the MCC. Of course, the conference is now called the Crossroads League. And I think the name change came sometime after Mount Vernon was added to the conference. They were added to the conference in the 2011-2012 season. Yeah, Ken Neuber had 5 years as the head coach of the men's soccer program and then took over, became the women's head coach in 1995. He won 6 conference championships in his first 13 years at the helm. And spent some time at Notre Dame and later on came back to coach at St. Francis. Cougs will get the kickoff to start the second half. Courtney Tobin got the game-tying goal. That was on a penalty kick. The lone Bethel goal belongs to Ana Hernandez. Second half is underway as the Pilots look to control early on. Swigert sends it toward the middle, trying to get back to the ball, and it's past her and out of bounds. The Pilots will throw it in. They get it in to Modahetty. That's going to go out, and a throw-in coming up for the Pilots. Emma Martz fires it in, looking for Lena Thomas. Thomas has played with a quick motor today. She's had several scoring chances, does not yet have a goal. Lewis trying to get a takeaway. The Pilots recontrol. This is Harkness. Carly Harkness back toward the middle of the field finds Gustafson. Swigert has it cleared. That was Martz who knocked it out, and a throw-in coming up for St. Francis. And that is Haley Roberson ready to throw it in. She fires the ball in. Header by Martz. Header back the other way by Roberson. The Pilots get to the ball, and Swigert knocks it out of bounds. Throw in to Thomas. Looked like it went off of Thomas or not. Throw in for the Pilots. Kept in play. Thomas gets to it, and Thomas goes quick. Lewis able to run with her. They get the ball through traffic. And I believe that's Haley Wesley who clears for St. Francis. It will be a throw-in for the Pilots. 48th minute here at Darcy Stadium. Harkness throws it in. Thomas could not keep it in. It'll be a goal kick. Rachel Bova gets ready to set it up. Bova's a freshman from Carroll High School right here in Fort Wayne. I believe there's actually 3 total players from Carroll in this game. 2 of them from St. Francis, 1 from Bethel. Here's Harkness. The cross cleared out for the moment by St. Francis. They clear it out again. By the way, the Carroll player on the Bethel side is Layla Modaheady. She's a freshman from Carroll. Thomas toward the inside. Sends it off. Modaheady, the shot, saved by Bova. Diving stab that time. Cougs looking to push. Pilots clear it. Thomas to the sideline and out. Haley Roberson to throw it in. And a good long throw in looking for Swigert. Swigert kept it inside the sideline, but couldn't keep it inside the end line. This will be a goal kick for Bethel. Keeble sends it across the field. Trip there outside the box, and there's the call. Going to be on the Pilots. St. Francis will get a free kick. This will not be a direct kick like they got on a handball in the box earlier against Bethel. This came outside the box. I believe that's Courtney Tobin handling the kick for St. Francis. She's got the lone Cougar goal for the afternoon. Into the box, Roberson waits. Header by Swigert, and it misses wide left. Somehow stayed in. Meeks, header, all knocked out just barely. Are you kidding me? Boy, Keeble stuck her hand out at literally the last second. It is going to be a throw-in for St. Francis. We'll see if we get a chance to look at that. Ball's loose in front of the box and shot wide left, so we are going to get a chance to take a look at that last save by Keeble. Boy, this was a golden opportunity for the Cougs. I said that Keeble stuck her hand out. She might have gotten a piece of it and deflected it off the post, but what's clear from that replay is the ball did go off the post. But my goodness, that was a golden opportunity for the Cougs. Keeble leaks out. The shot is a goal, and the Cougs take the lead this time. Madison Meeks, the freshman from Carroll. And St. Francis takes the lead. We'll give you another look at this replay. Right off the corner kick. Went right over Keeble, and Meeks just snuck it in past Harfouche. And Madison Meeks with the go-ahead Cougar goal. Beg your pardon there, folks. Hit the wrong button. Well, for Madison Meeks, that is her second goal of the season. Freshman out of Carroll with a big moment as she gives the Cougars the lead. We've now got over 37 minutes to play in this game. Again, last time Bethel came here, they tied with St. Francis. I believe the final score there was 2-2. That was 2 years ago. Faith Lewis sends it ahead. Gustafson gets to it for the Pilots. I think that's Biddle battling for the ball. And she almost won the battle. Across midfield. Tobin looked like she was contacted. A little slide tackle there by Gustafson. She's going to get called for a trip. And I'm trying to get a look at as to who that is who's down. It's not Meeks. Meeks is up. That might be Harkenrider who's down. Yeah, I believe that is Evelyn Harkenrider, number 18. It's going to be a free kick for St. Francis. Roberson runs up with a strong kick, but Keeble is right there. Battle for the ball. The Cougars get the takeaway. That's Lewis. Back toward the inside and deflected. Thomas trying to get to it. Had a little confusion there. I think Lewis was the one who got to the ball, but it's knocked out by the Cougs. Grace Beck will throw it in. Header goes out of bounds. Thomas battles for the ball. That's kept in play. Not for long, though. Bethel gets the throw in. Cougs come up with it. Kept in play. That goes off the foot of Vervinkt. Out of bounds, and this time it'll be Bethel's throw in. Oh, that looked like it was a handball. Looked like it went off of Gustafson. It's not called. Meeks gets a touch. Meeks, who scored the go-ahead goal. Tobin sends it down the field. Tobin, one of the assist leaders in the Crossroads League. Harkenrider has it deflected. Did they call offsides? Well, if that's the call, nope, they kept on playing. The ref stuck the flag up, and they're still playing. Knocked out of bounds by the Cougars. I thought initially that was going to be an offsides call. Had it been an offsides call, it would have been a very late one. Kirsten Parker waiting to check in. Right now it's continuous soccer. Not a lot of stoppages since that Madison Meeks goal. Oh, contact in the box. Swigert trying to recontrol it. Lewis trying to help her out. Swigert with a collision with Emma Martz. And Swigert shaken up. Looked like she took a shot to the knees. It's going to be Bethel ball. And right now Swigert is either trying to stick it out or being told by Ken Neuber to stick it out. Martz throws it in over the head of Thomas. And who did that go off of? If that went off of Bethel, it did not. Had it gone off of Bethel, it would have gone the wrong way out of bounds quite a long distance. Did I hear correctly that Martz has no shin guards on? Well, that's there's not a lot of padding required in the game of soccer, but the one padding that is required is shin guards. You don't have shoulder pads or knee pads or thigh pads like you do in football. You don't wear a mask like you do in hockey or as a catcher. You don't wear a chest protector. But shin guards are the only piece of equipment necessary. That's, if I heard that right, that's the first time I've ever heard a player get told to go to the sidelines for not having shin guards. Parker trying to chase after the ball. She sends it down the sideline. That one stays outside the box, and Keeble looked like she could have let that roll out and gotten a goal kick. Instead, she'll just scoop it up. There's a lot of time on the clock, over 31 minutes to play in the second half. Cougs almost had the takeaway, and now the Pilots get it back. Vervinkt. Vervinkt through traffic. Harkness toward the middle. That's knocked in front of Bova. She almost had the save, and I think they're calling that she was interfered with. See if we can't get a look at this. I think that was Thomas who came in at the last second. Well, Thomas was going for the ball. She did make contact with Bova. Might just be simply a goal kick. Yeah, the ball's just being set up like a goal kick, so nobody interfered with anybody. So we'll play on and have the goal kick. St. Francis will take it, but meanwhile, official heading over to have a word with head coach Jason Freeman. Well, the ball's being set up like it's just a goal kick. And in looking at the replay, like I said before, I don't think that Thomas genuinely interfered with Bova or committed a foul of any sort. She was going to make a play on the ball. Well, it looks like the girls are going to get a hydration break. Well, let's take another look at that last sequence. Yeah, the way Thomas stuck her leg out like that, it looked like she was just making a play on the ball. She did make contact with Bova in the process. Didn't look like any kind of foul. But in the end, it was going to be a goal kick. The ball was set up as if it was a goal kick. Meanwhile, we've got 30:47 left on the clock. Boy, Lena Thomas has been chomping at the bit today. She's been playing with a quick motor. She is the leading goal scorer coming into this game for Bethel. And she has had several opportunities. The lone Pilot goal belongs to Ana Hernandez. Courtney Tobin and Madison Meeks have the goals for St. Francis. Did that go off the Cougs? It did not. Swigert was in the area, but apparently did not make contact, and she'll be subbed out as Matiah James, the freshman from Concordia High School, checks in. By the way, Concordia High School is one of 12 high schools here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. along with Blackhawk Christian, Canterbury, Carroll, Homestead, Bishop Dwenger, Bishop Luers, Wayne, Snyder, Northrop, Northside, and Southside. I think I just mentioned all of them. Harkness pushing ahead. Roberson gets back there, and, I thought she knocked it out. They're calling it a goal kick. Roberson boots that one down the field. That goes off of Gustafson. Looked like contact from behind, no call. Cruz sends it ahead. And that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Bethel will get this throw in, and it looks like Selena Cruz will handle it, and she does. Gets it into Harkness. That one's out off the Cougars as well. Cougars with a 1-goal lead, but Bethel is pushing. They've had a number of chances to get the ball in the net today. Thomas looking for Harkness. Roberson, or rather Parker, stays in front of her, and this one goes out. It'll be a throw-in for the Cougars. Skylar Olson, the freshman out of Huntington, Indiana, will check into the game. I think Olson got sparse minutes in Wednesday night's game against the Huntington Foresters. She did not transfer in from Huntington. However, Olson did go to Huntington North High School. I believe Huntington North now shares their soccer field with the football field. They got a nice new little artificial turf field out there. Takeaway there by Cruz. That's cleared to the sideline. Off St. Francis, goes right to Ken Newber. And Cruz will throw it in. Cutting right in front was Haley Wesley. But the Cougs knock it out, and a throw-in coming up for Cruz. Vervink sends it toward the box. Little header there by Grace Beck. That one does roll into the box, and Bova can scoop it up, and now she does. St. Francis coming off a 1-0 win against Huntington on Wednesday, trying to get a little conference winning streak going. They did not win a single conference game a year ago. They've already surpassed that. Now trying to make it back-to-back conference W's. That goes out off of Modahetty. Modahetty, a freshman from right here in Fort Wayne. She went to Carroll. Haley Roberson will throw it in. Kind of a low line drive throw in. Cruz knocks it away. Thomas sends it back toward the inside, and whistles blow. Thomas goes down. Was she pushed? Take a look at this while we've got a chance. Hard to tell there. That might have been number 5, Faith Lewis. But either way, a free kick coming up for the Pilots. St. Francis was down 1-0 early on in this game. Courtney Tobin got the tying goal on a penalty kick. Madison Meeks got the go-ahead goal off a corner kick. And here's Swigert on the near side. She was looking for James, but it's Cruz who takes it away for the Pilots. And knocked out off of Roberson. Pilots will get a throw-in. Pilots not making it easy on the Cougs. In the shots on goal department, the teams are dead even. 9 shots on goal for the Pilots, 9 for the Cougs. Cruz sends it into the box, and that's going to go off St. Francis again. That's either 3 or 4 throw-ins for Cruz in just the last minute. Thomas, long strike, and that's going wide, and it'll bounce out. Goal kick coming up for St. Francis as we are now inside 25 minutes to play. Thomas gets the takeaway at midfield. Cruz gets right past Keenan. Goes for the through ball. Roberson's there. Sends it down the other way. Now that does allow extra time to tick off the clock, but nobody's hard pressed for time at this point. We've got over 24 minutes left to play in just a 1-goal game. Keenan with kind of a semi-bicycle kick. That appeared to go off the Pilots or not. The Pilots will get the throw in. Looking for Thomas. Lewis is there. Kept in by Keenan. She finds Biddle. Carly Biddle pushes. Surrounded by blue shirts. She's looking for Keenan on the near side, and Keenan could not get to it. Keeble will set it up on the far side of the field. Sent forward by the Cougs, but cleared, and I believe that was Macy Potter. Tobin sends it ahead. Olsen pushing towards it inside the box. Right at Keeble. Skylar Olsen has yet to score a goal on the season. She had a chance there to get her first. And Keeble right on the edge of the box punts it out. Collision there on the far side. Pass Biddle, flag goes up, and I think they called a trip against St. Francis. Keep saying the phrase flag goes up. I keep thinking of racing, where the green flag goes up and the race is on. But nobody's got any green flags in this game. Potter with the ball for Bethel. Cruz had Keenan right on her, and Roberson with a strong boot down the field, but that's not going to stay in. You could tell that was angling out of bounds even from here. We're in the 69th minute between Bethel and St. Francis. But the St. Francis men's and women's soccer teams will have the next 6 days off from games. Of course, have some practices in that time span, but they won't have another game until next Saturday. And here come the Pilots down the field. Annalie Gustafson has it taken away by St. Francis. That was Kirsten Parker who got in the way of the ball. Out of bounds off Bethel, and St. Francis will get a throw in. Shot. Keeble knocks it away. Cleared out, but this is looking like a corner kick. And it is. I think that was Cruz who got back there and knocked it away. And St. Francis has a chance to add to their lead. It looks like Tobin's going to handle the corner kick. She often handles these for St. Francis. She's got a goal in this game already. She came into today tied for the lead in assists in the Crossroads League. And that one's right off the outside of the net. No goal. Taken by Harkness, taken away by Lewis. She's able to find Holly Thomas. Back to Thomas on the near side. Across, but nobody there for St. Francis. Thomas tried to keep it alive, but knocks it out. Pilots will get a sub in. That's Grace Beck. She'll hand the penny to Carly Harkness. Off of Beck. Thomas gets a touch. Still just a one-goal game with 18:25 to play. Beck, defenders right in front of her, and that ball is knocked out of bounds by Kirsten Parker. Emma Martz will check in to take the place of Carly Harfouche. Check that. She's going to take the place of Macy Potter. A little discussion between the officials. Well, looks like they got it sorted out. Now Grace Beck will throw it in. Throw into Vervinkt. Beck has it saved. Leaping save by Rachel Bova. Get another look at that. Another impressive save by Bova, the freshman out of Carroll High School. And this is a long shot by Grace Beck. But Bova able to leap to get it and keep it a 2-1, St. Francis lead. Defenders get back for Bethel. And that goes off the Cougs. It'll be Bethel's throw-in. Meeks keeps it in. Battle for the ball, and the Cougs take it away. Holly Thomas helped out with that. I'm not sure that ball went out. They're going to say it did, but off of St. Francis. I thought Beck touched the ball while it was still on the line. Yeah, different sports have different rules when it comes to on the line. In soccer, if the ball's on the line, it is in. Same thing in volleyball. Of course, it's different in basketball. In basketball, on the line is out. But in soccer, it's in. Wesley sends it to the near side to Roberson. A takeaway there by Thomas, and they get it back to her. Lewis going to be called for a trip. Well, she made a play on the ball. Looked like the trip came after she got the ball, but it is going to be called a trip and a free kick for Bethel. Harfouche with the kick into the box. And this will be a goal kick. St. Francis will get some subs into the game. Jalen Carroll and Evelyn Harkenrider will check in. Harkenrider takes the place of Thomas, I think. Olsen comes out. Yeah, that is Thomas, number 28, who comes to the sideline. Off of Meeks. Deflected over to Beck. Beck pushes. Cleared out by Meeks. Quick throw in by the Pilots. Ball gets loose, but sent all the way over to Beck. Shot. Diving save by Bova. And we remain in a one-goal game. Another look at that save. Another impressive one by Rachel Bova. Lena Thomas with the shot, and Bova with a diving stab as the ball gets loose into the box, but Keeble is there to pick it up. .33 left to play in this game. Ball gets loose. Harfouche clears but sends it out, and St. Francis will get this throw in. Cougs defeated Huntington on Wednesday night, trying to make it back-to-back conference wins after starting not only 0-2 in the conference, but getting shut out a combined 9-0 in back-to-back games. Boy, Harkenrider looked like she had a chance there. Emma Martz knocked it the other way. Thomas gets a touch. Deflected by Roberson, but she couldn't keep it in. And wasting no time at all is Grace Beck. Roberson continues to battle, but to no avail. Here's Thomas. Goes for the through ball. Pilots with a chance. Was that a handball? Oh, the Pilots are lobbying. Jason Freeman lobbying as well. Well, St. Francis scored on a penalty kick after a handball was called against Bethel, and now Jason Freeman thinking that Bethel should have had a similar chance. See if we can't get a look at that last play in a moment. But right now, St. Francis with a chance. When it comes to showing these replays, as an announcer, you always got to keep your wits about you. Play could change at any moment. The Pilots control the ball again. A long strike by Harfouche. Cleared out of the box. Hernandez with a defender right on her. They get it into the box. Shot. Another diving save. Bova continues to make some great plays. Now let's take another look at the near handball. Well, that's the back end of it, so unfortunately you don't see it there. Rachel Bova has allowed only one goal so far in the game. But still a lot of time left. 10:58 left to play. Harfouche gets it in the middle of the field. Well, Bethel has had a lot of chances this second half to get the ball in the net. The only goal this half belongs to Madison Meeks of St. Francis, her second goal of the season. Vervinkt, second leading scorer on the Pilots, goes for the through ball looking for Grace Beck. Harkenrider sends it ahead, but Harfouche is the only one there. Otto Runeman waiting to check in. Bodwin shot by Beck over the goal and through the upright. Runeman will check in. Another look at that impressive save by Rachel Bova. Another diving save that she put together. It was Bodwin who took the shot, and Rachel Bova able to make the diving stop. Back to Cruz. Goes off her foot and out of bounds. Well, that'll help St. Francis because, number one, they get the throw in. Number two, a little extra time starts to tick off the clock, which is helpful for St. Francis having this one-goal lead. Bethel has once again gone ahead in shots on goal. They have 12 shots on goal, 11 for St. Francis, but on the scoreboard, it is the Cougs who lead 2-1. But a goal kick here for the Pilots. Harfouche pushing. She gets it over to Martz. Lewis gets to it. Wesley deflects it. Lewis trying to send it ahead, but Bethel is there. Over to Beck. Beck gets it through to Thomas. Thomas trying to work her way around Lewis, and they're going to say it went out on Lewis. I thought for sure that went out off of Thomas. See if we can get another look at it on this instant replay. Looked like it did just dribble off the foot of Faith Lewis. Bodwin handling the corner kick. The header goes backwards. Thomas got a touch but couldn't control the ball. Cruz has it on the back end. Long shot. Cleared for the moment. Redirected. No goal. Way too high. That ball got stuck in the net. They're over top of the Arborstye Football Training Center. Well, I said stuck in the net. I think it actually got stuck between the railing and the fence. Taylor Swigert has checked into the game for St. Francis. Header back the other way. Bodwin gets it toward the middle. Keeble gets to the ball. Sends it over to Harfouche. Harfouche chased. Thomas with another touch. Knocked away by Roberson. Knocked away again. But Cruz is there. Bethel with one chance after another. They tied with St. Francis the last time they were here just 2 years ago as this ball is knocked out. Aubrey Vervinck, the junior out of Plymouth, Indiana, checks into the game. She's the second leading scorer for Bethel coming into this game. She's going to take the place of Selena Cruz. Moved to the inside there by Harfouche. Over to Martz. Martz, long kick to the box. Bova, sliding save. An impressive game for Rachel Bova. Only allowed one goal. That was in the first half. And that was Ana Hernandez who put it in for Bethel. Annalise Young gets to the ball, keeps it in. Toward the box, Young toward the middle. Beck gets to it. Had it go off the side of her foot, and St. Francis clears for now. Gustafson waits on it. St. Francis 8-2-2 overall coming into this game. Thomas, defenders right on her, cleared out. Thomas looked like she wanted a trip call, did not get it. It's out off of Bethel. St. Francis will get the throw in. 5 minutes and counting left here at Darcy Stadium. Can St. Francis hold off the Pilots? Madison Meeks' goal early this half gave St. Francis the lead. The freshman scoring her second goal of the season. Off of Beck. Gustafson gets to it. Hernandez, same player who scored the earlier goal for Bethel, scores again. Or was it Thomas? Looks like it was Thomas. We'll get another look at it here on our replay. That was indeed Thomas. Snuck it in to the left corner, bottom shelf. And Lena Thomas with her sixth goal of the season, 4:16 to play. And whistles blow right on the kickoff. A second ticks off the clock, and now St. Francis looking to get a go-ahead goal. Trying to go to 2-2 in conference play, and they go quick down the field. Lewis through ball. Harkenrider scooped up by Keeble. Keeble got to it before Harkenrider could. Knocked out of bounds, and this will be a throw-in for the Pilots. St. Francis already with more conference wins than they had last year. They did not win a single conference game last year, but looking for a chance to go back-to-back. They beat Huntington on Wednesday. Give credit to Bethel. They fought toward the bitter end, kept creating chances for themselves, and now Thomas gets a touch. Thomas racing around, goes for the through ball. Bova dives for that one to keep it tied. Autumn Bodwin pushing towards it, and Bova has the save. We remain tied at 2-2. 3 minutes to play. Over the head of Lewis. Thomas, another touch. And she was pushed down outside the box. That's going to be on Haley Wesley. Free kick outside the box. Layla Modaheady sets it up. Modaheady from right here in Fort Wayne. She went to Carroll High School. Trying to help her team come from behind in her hometown. Whistles blow. In front of the goal, the header goes out, and this should be a goal kick for St. Francis, and it will. They get the ball in quick to Bova. Gets a brand new soccer ball. Roberson will handle the kick. Short kick. Bova sends it ahead. Now Roberson across midfield. Can the Cougs create a scoring opportunity here? Backwards pass to Lewis. Ball gets loose. Martz is back there for Bethel. That goes past Harkenrider. Roberson sends it ahead. Off Swigert. Redirected toward Vervinkt. Thomas working around the traffic. She got the game-tying goal earlier, her 6th of the season. And that one rolls outside the box. Roberson, is she going to be called for a push? No, it's a goal kick. 1:26 left. We're coming down to the wire here at Darcy Stadium. But St. Francis has got to go quick. 1:04 left. Wesley sends it across midfield. 51 seconds. Knocked away. That's going to go out. Throw in for Bethel. "27 seconds. And this one's going to go out again. Swigert couldn't get to it in time. Out of bounds again. Another throw in for Bethel. Down to 7 seconds. Bodwin didn't get it off in time, and just like 2 years ago when Bethel last came in here, this game will end with a tie. Bethel and St. Francis finish up, knotted at 2 apiece. Boy, St. Francis clamped down defensively toward the end, but ultimately Lena Thomas, the leading goal scorer for the Pilots, evens it up in the end, and we end in a 2-2 tie. Well, our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game is going to be Rachel Bova. Though she did give up the late goal from Thomas, she continued to have one impressive save after another. Rachel Bova is your Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game. And that will do it here from Bishop Darcy Stadium. 2-2 tie between the Pilots and the Cougars. For my cameraman Matt Jackson, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Darcy Stadium. You've been watching St. Francis Women's Soccer, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.